The book that I read over the past few weeks was Tracks by Robin Davidson. It is about a sole woman trekking across the Australian outback for 1,700 miles with her four camels, Bub, Doogie, Zalika, and Goliath, who is Zalika's newborn son, and her dog Diggity. Before leaving the adventure, though, she needs to prepare, and in order to do that, she needed money for supplies. It was then that she agreed to write an article for National Geographic once her trip concluded in exchange for $4,000 up front. Unfortunately, though, this meant that Robin would have a photographer following her on parts of her journey, which she was not happy about, though she reluctantly accepts because she needs the money and begins the trip. Tracks is very similar to the book Wild by Cheryl Strayed, in that it is a lone woman traveling many miles just trying to find herself by the end of the adventure. In both books, I believe the women find themselves, and I know for a fact that neither one of them wanted to go back to the real world. As Davidson put it at the end of the book, the last poor fragile shreds of my romantic naivety were about to get shriveled permanently by New York City, where I'd be in 4 days' time, shell-shocked, intimidated by the canyons of glass and cement, finding my new adventure's identity kit ill-fitted and uncomfortable, answering inane questions which made me feel like I should be running a pet shop, defending myself against people who said things like, "Well, honey, I can't imagine what it would be like to be out in the wild for so long and have to go back to reality." Yet, I almost feel like I have had that sensation after coming back from our backpacking trip. Even though I wanted to go home and take a shower after our long weekend together, I didn't really want to have to go back to my daily obligations of school and work. I sort of wanted the weekend to never end because we had so much fun, and I even learned more about myself, just as Robin did on the Australian outback. There was one part of Tracks that even reminded me of our first literature book, Endurance, by Alfred Langsley. One night while on the outback, Robin was sleeping alone without Diggity by her side, which was not normal, when all of a sudden the dog came into her tent, whimpering and vomiting all over. Diggity had eaten some poison berries in the middle of the night. There was nothing Robin could do but either let Diggity die painfully or just put her out of her misery. She chose the second option. It reminded me of when Shackleton ordered their dogs to be killed because they were running out of food. Both situations in both books sadden me, but looking back on them, both were necessary. The dogs shouldn't suffer any more than they have to. When our RPT class first began, I thought adventure had to be something new and exciting that would put you on the edge of death. But now I realize that it doesn't necessarily have to be new or death-defying. This class has shown me that I can literally just walk outside and have an adventure if I really wanted to. An adventure just needs to take me out of my mundane life, going to school, going to work, eating the same meals, talking to the same people, etc. An adventure just needs to make you slightly uncomfortable, but in a good way. I hope to have many more adventures in the future, because life can get pretty boring sometimes. My girlfriend and I hope to go on an adventure and hike the whole California Coastal Trail one summer after college. We hiked the San Francisco part of the trail for my micro-adventure project and absolutely loved it, so we want to try and do the entire trail sometime.